Greetings and salutations. I couldn't help myself. Luca followed me home. Okay, I admit I have a problem, but hear me out. I'm doing some work in the front yard here. It's like there was some kind of rose bush that had gone totally rogue here, here, and here, and then there were two trees, one here and one here, and I cut this gate in, and I needed access to my gate. There was a tree right in the way. Plus, you know, it was doing that to my fence. Long story long, I had a bunch of yard debris, loaded up the dually, and I took it down to the transfer station here in town, and this beauty was sitting there. I asked the fellow that's working down there, I said, what's the story with that tractor? He says, you know, the guy offered me 40 bucks for it. 40 bucks. Does it run? No, I don't know. That's all I said about it. I didn't pursue that any further. And then I came home and I thought about it over the next few hours, and you know, if there's no mower deck with it, it's just a tractor, maybe I could flip it and make a few bucks. So I went down there this morning, shortly after they opened, and I went down there and I said, I want to take a look at that tractor. So I looked it over and I tried to turn the engine in my hand. It was stuck. It's usually a pretty good indication of why something's at the junkyard. I sat there and I thought about it. I don't know if I want to take a chance with, you know, 40 bucks is 40 bucks. I could put that money someplace else and I could walk away from this and not have any regrets at all. And I'm standing there looking at it, and I'm looking, he goes, I tell you what, give me 20 bucks for it. I said, okay, for 20 bucks, I can probably sell the rear axle assembly for 20 bucks, make my money back. So it's here. I don't know what the tires are going to cost. Probably more than 40 bucks. The battery, I'm pretty sure that's the original battery. Well, I was hoping that I could take and save this, and I took the caps off. Yeah, the cells are decked. They're completely deckered. I could tell almost immediately this thing hadn't turned in a minute because of all the debris that's on top of the fan. Electronic ignition. No, I'm screwed. What I'm going to have to do here is see if I can get this motor freed up. Maybe the thing is completely deckered. But I'm going to take the spark plugs out and see if I can squirt some penetrating oil down inside the cylinders and see if I can get this thing to break loose. Maybe I'll make up some juice. I'll show you how I make up my penetrating juice. But this is what I've done so far, and this is what I've discovered. The battery's completely junk. Took the gas cap off and I stuck my face down just to get a good whiff of the varnish, and there's just no smell emanating at all from the gas tank. So first things third, I hooked up my battery charger. Let's put her on the 200 amp setting. Oh, I even got keys. Oh, and there's also no seat. So I had to make a little jumper wire because, you know, they don't want you to start a tractor without you sitting in the seat, because you're just not smart enough to make sure it's in neutral. You have to sit in the seat. Anyway. I got some clicking going on. The oil's at the full level and it looks pretty clean. Let's pull the spark plugs. Well, that cylinder looks divine. Champion spark plug is not the greatest. This one looks a little fat. The ground straps aren't beat. So I'm going to make up some penetrant. Maybe I'll get my cherry picker in here and elevate the front end so I can get a good quantity of the goo juice inside the cylinders. I'll pull the bowl on the carbonator and see if there's any schmoo down in the bowl of that too. Let me show you the slop in the front end. Oh, here's a good. Ooh, this thing is pretty well used. It's already worn into the cast, so that pivot bushing's been dickered for a minute or two. What do you expect for 20 bucks, I guess, right? I mean, it was at the junkyard for a reason. These are nice. I don't remember where I got these. I might have got these on Amazon. These are just little, what are they, 8-ounce bottles, little squeeze bottles. And these work really good for priming carburetors. Right? You just fill this with gasoline and put gas right into the float bowl through the vent. So I'm just going to use about 1 ounce of brake fluid. Doesn't matter what kind, just brake fluid. If you've ever seen what brake fluid does to paint, they'll do the same thing to rust. Excuse me while I hydrate. Alright. I'm going to put 5 ounces in there. So that should bring me up to 6 ounces. Oh, perfect. And then the rest is going to be lacquer thinner. So 8, that'd be 2.5 ounces. Wait till you see this, you're going to be so impressed. Here's the thing. The brake fluid is hygroscopic, so it's going to attract moisture. Not that that's a benefit. I'm using it because it's caustic. And it'll help break the rings loose. The transmission fluid has a lot of detergents and additives in it. If it's just varnish or surface rust, it'll help break that loose. And the lacquer thinner, it kind of just thins everything out. The brake fluid's on the bottom, transmission fluid's here, and then the lacquer thinner's on top. They don't commingle. You have to agitate this. Mix it all up. And then you can squirt this in the cylinders. Leave it sit for a little while. Just about all of it. And now we wait. While I wait, I'm going to take these front wheels off, maybe pull the front axle, get some eyeballs on that bushing, see if it's salvageable. It's either a C-clip or a cotter pin. I can't see through the grease. Hold one moment. Let's see here. Oh, it's a C-clip. There's no bearings that I can tell. Probably not, just a simple bushing. Which is pretty typical of a small yard tractor like this. In order to get to that, I had to pull these caps off. But as these age, they get a little bit stiff. It's cold outside too. And these would not come off. So I heated them up with a heat gun. Hairdryer worked too. Just to soften that rubber up a little bit. And I was able to pull those off. Now I just need to get a screwdriver. Like this. If I could only see, that would be awesome. Get behind there, pull the C-clip off. Bob's your uncle. Set that right there. so I don't forget. Washer. I'll set that right there. Right there. And now I can just pull this right off. Like so. That bushing don't look bad. And the axle don't look bad. That's a good sign so far. We'll set this right here. Right there. Now let's see here. There's a little wobble in it, but not much. Not much. Rod ends looks okay. Now go do the same thing on the other side. Pull this off. Take that nut out. Put that bolt out. I should be able to drop this axle out of there. So if you have a lawn tractor and there's a lot of slop in the steering wheel, this is probably the first place to look, is in that pivot. This little axle here. I mean, if I just take and move this back and forth on that worn pivot, you can see how much movement I get out of the front axle. Look how much I got to move the steering wheel to get any kind of reaction out of that axle. Let me wedge something in here and take up that slop. Just gonna lay that screwdriver in there. Watch. Just by taking the slop out of that axle, now you get immediate response. If you got a lot of slop in your steering, it's probably not your steering box. It might be the linkages. It's probably more than likely that bushing, because this axle takes a lot of beating. A lot of beating. And I don't think it's greasable here either. Doesn't look like it. These are greasable. Everything else is pretty much greasable, but that pivot joint is not greasable. Alright, we got a couple of issues here. Need a new bolt for starters. So that's pretty decorative. There is a bushing in here. It's like a poly bushing. That's the bigger issue. There. So this wasn't really even tight, and that's wallered out. So I wanted to get some couple of washers. I'll get a new bolt and get a piece of 1/4 inch or something and sister a piece of steel onto the outside. It's just mild steel. That's just mild steel, and with the correct size hole to correct all that tomfoolery. There's a lot of seized stuff, and I'm gonna have to get some penetrating oil on a bunch of stuff and linkages and stuff and get things freed up. Ouch! Keep bashing my skull into that freaking bar. Headache now. Alright, let's take the bowl off the carburetor. I started to do this off camera and this bolt feels a little gooey, like it might be full of varnish. Oh, where'd that go? I heard it hit the floor. Where'd it go? Did you see where it went? Damn it. It's freaking on there good too. Alright, I need to find that little nut thing. Alright, well, I'll have to find it later. Oh, look at that. The throttle plate is... There it is. Ha! I knew I'd find it. Okay. There. Oh, there you go. There, get him off without breaking the damn gasket. Awesome. What the hell is this? Can anybody tell me what the hell that is? Some kind of swirlator? That's supposed to go in like that, I guess. I don't know. Fun. What do I know? I'm just a stupid carpenter. Why won't that go in? Are you too good for your home? Go to your home! There it goes. Alright, that carb needs a good going through. Awesome. I don't know why this thing got parked, but I'm beginning to understand the reason why it got thrown away. Every pivot point in this tractor is either gummed up, under lubricated, or seized. And then PB Blaster, great product. Each can they put it in. If you drop this on the floor, the freaking pickup tube will drop out of the tip, and the only way to get the product out now would be to tip it upside down. Okay, so this is where I'm at so far. It's still stuck, and I just filled the cylinders as far as they would fill with transmission fluid, plus my goo that I made from earlier. I took all the shrouds off to, check to make sure there's no mouse houses up here, and to blow all the debris out of this, and to clean all this out. And I took the battery tray out so I could see what was going on back here. Got that freed up. I've got the clutch brake. I got that linkage freed up. And really the only issue is that everything was kind of corroded. So I just had to take some things apart, lubricate it, and it was good to go. I did end up cutting my fuel lines. If this thing does end up running, I'm gonna have to replace the fuel lines. The starter is seized, so I'm gonna pull that apart tonight and see if I can't get that freed up. If I can do that, then there's a good chance after soaking overnight, it might unstick. If it does, great, and we can go from there. I gotta clean the carburetor yet. Hopefully the fuel pump is operational. Pull this apart and see if I can get this freed up. I put 12 volts to it, and it just, that's all it did. It just hummed at me. So I'll pull that apart. All right. It's freed up. Let's go test it. There it goes. Okay. See? All right, so that's done. I'll come back out here tomorrow morning and see if I can't break this thing loose. If I can't break it loose, pull the heads up. We'll see how messed up it is on the inside. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning. Oh, my bad. Good afternoon. I came out here this morning to try to turn this engine over, and it wouldn't move, right? So I got in here to make sure that the valves, I took the little valve cover things off on both sides. There's that one. There's that one. Check to make sure the valves weren't stuck, and they're not. And remember, last night I filled the cylinders up as best I could with transmission fluid and my super secret goo that I made. I got on this thing just a minute ago, and look what happened. Look at that. So it's broke loose, which is good news. Now I take the spark plugs back out and drain the liquid out of the cylinder so I don't bend a rod, and get a couple of revolutions on this. And last night before I called it quits, I cleaned that out and put it all back together. Now let's do a compression test. Well, it's got a little bit of compression. That looks like a 105. Just over 90. That should be enough to make it run. See if I got spark. Let's see if you can see the spark. Got compression, got spark. Now we need fuel. Put the carburetor on, put the spark plug back in, and squirt a little go juice down in the carburetor and see if we can get it to pop off. So that's enough. Probably would help to put the spark plug wires on, you goof. Probably wouldn't hurt to tighten down damn things down too, goof. Holy crap. You don't have to pay much, Rick. You just have to pay attention. Jeez, I wonder why we run. Spark plug wire on. Hit the sparkulator. That's spark wire going on there. Watch, it'll pop right off now. Boom! Look at that. He's a smoky one. See these things? I hate these things. Watch what I'm going to do with this. Probably cut my damn finger off. Yahtzee. Oh, would you look at that? You could screw the cap on and screw the cap off almost effortlessly. That's a lot of gas. Holy. That'll work. I'm not going to replace the spark plugs just yet, but I'll get some new fuel line. I'll take this off so I can get to the gas tank, pull the gas tank, and inspect that and make sure it's not full of garbage.
A few moments later.
Smoky. Yesterday it started out with the oil that shot out of that combustion chamber, and then today when that thing first started up, it shot out the exhaust pipe and just, look at my toolbox, man, just all over the floor. Yeah. The question is, was it worth it? $20. My bad. I went down and got some fuel line this morning, and that was $5. So I'm into this now for $25. Now I need to get tires. She's a runner, boys. So if you found this video to be entertaining and informative, smash the like button, share it with the vast social media network, comment in the comment section. A like, share, and comment. Those three things will feed the algorithm that helps the channel immensely. If you want to support the channel financially, there's links in the description where you can do just that. Amazon, an affiliate, PayPal, and Patron. Check those out, see if that's something you want to do, and if you are, fantastic. Maybe we can get some tires. If not, enjoy the content anyway. Probably means we're related. Hey, if you haven't done so yet, click subscribe. Do you really want to miss the next installment of this turd? I didn't think so. So click subscribe and the little bell icon, do all the things, and don't forget to comment. So until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot, treat, keep out eye, and have a splendid day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.